Today it's a Labor Day holiday in the United States and Canada. So today's session is likely to be filled with not much of an volatility or market moves. And now, as we are seeing in today's European trading session, the markets have been in the retracement phase, and after sell-off in the Friday's trading session, we are seeing some consolidation taking place in the major equity indices of Euro area. Earlier in the day, the Asian trading session was also kind of mixed, and if you consider the US equity indices futures, they are also trading mildly higher after this bearish turn. But I think now, from short to medium term perspective, the things are changing, and in coming week, in the remaining days of this week, we are most likely to see the sideways to bearish momentum prevailing in the equity indices. So we will consider this possibility to see if there are any emerging trading opportunities for us. If we take a look on the data calendar, we didn't really get many major releases apart from these trade balance data for the China. As expected, the China is having a good amount of trade surplus, and now for this month we have the trade surplus at 59 billion US dollars, and this is a lot more than the expectations of around US dollar 47 billion. So as you can see, the Chinese trade surplus is rising on account of the recovery which has taken place in the China's economy, and because of that, it has been able to provide the goods and services to other countries which are still reeling under the lockdown because of the coronavirus pandemic. And as I said, today it's the holiday, so enjoy your day. And those who are working, for them, we will begin the technical outlook. First, we will consider the DAX, and then we will move on to the USDJPY. Let's start with the DAX technical outlook. This is the daily time frame chart, and this sharp turn I was talking about when I said the sell off has now pushed the DAX in the consolidation phase, and if we look closely enough, this turnaround happened pretty close to this 100% Fibonacci expansion level of its first phase of rally. So here I feel that DAX is now more likely to enter into a consolidation phase with the bearish bias, and eventually we might even see DAX dipping toward this 12,500 level in coming session. So we will see what are the levels which are likely to prove optimum enough for us to take the risk. Of course, for us it's always about the risk, as we have to see what is the risk and what is the reward before going into any trading opportunity. The ATR still stands elevated, but of course, after these prior highs, it has now reduced, and it is still compared to the pre-coronavirus days, it is still not higher, but nonetheless, it is on the lower side now. If you consider the 4-hourly chart, both these technical tools are pointing to the underlying bullish tendency, and here because of that we can't really expect big sharp sell off from the current levels. Maybe we might see some consolidation happening in the DAX before any kind of swift move on the either side takes place. Here, the prior move was continuously with the formation of higher highs and higher lows. Because of that, we had this regression curve which was bending on the upside. But now, as the price action has dropped in the lower band of this regression curve, we might expect the flattening of this regression curve. And if things don't really hold well for the DAX, then we might even get the break below this central pivot point of this month's pivot point series, which is acting as a immediate support for the price action around 12,900 zone. So here for last two trading sessions, we saw the DAX finding buying support closer to this price band of 12,800 to 12,900 on multiple occasions. It tried to get break below this central pivot point, but it didn't really went that way, and after buying momentum it has been again pushed on the higher side toward this immediate swing high closer to 13,100. So here we have to keep this in mind that technically speaking the price action is still taking place in the bullish quadrant of this pivot point series, and all we need to do is look for the optimum opportunities where our stop losses will be rather sharp, so we don't to need to be too worried in case the things don't really go our way. So coming to the lower time frame chart of hourly, we have this confluence zone of three SMAs, 50, 100 and 200 SMA around 13,100. If we consider the prior swing high, which is also pretty close to this SMA zone at around 13,124. So we have these multiple factors. If we simply take into consideration the prior price action as well, I feel that the DAX is likely to find some resistance closer to this technically crucial area of around 13,100, and because of that we need to watch out how the price action is likely to unfold in today's trading session, as today is the holiday session in the US. I think we will be getting added time here to observe how things shape up in the latter part of today's trading session. And by the time tomorrow the European session begins, we will have a clear cut idea of this price action which is hovering close to the resistance zone, and if we don't really see any significant break on the upper side of this resistance zone, I think by the time the European trading session begins tomorrow we will be in position to go for fresh positioning, and as I said, it is going to be profitable if we go with the short sale trades, but for that we don't want any significant move beyond these immediate resistance. So here for us the requirement is that the AX should be spending considerable amount of time consolidating here, and then by tomorrow's European trading session we will have the setup ready for us to get involved on the short sale side. Now let's shift our attention to the currency segment where we will cover the USDJPY's technical outlook. This is the daily time frame chart, and for USDJPY last couple of sessions have been of low volatility. We haven't really seen any large moves in the USDJPY, and after rebounding closer to this 105 level, the it seems like that USDJPY is losing steam, and it is happy to be in the consolidation phase with the range being pretty narrow. But technically speaking, I think the things are still tilted to the upper side, the bullish side, and we are likely to see the USDJPY getting closer to this prior swing high area around 107, and eventually it might even cross above that. So for that to happen the current consolidation phase is important, and as long as there is no significant break below 106, I feel that technically the factors still remain in favor of the continuation of this upside momentum. So coming to the lower time frame charts of 4 hourly, we have the central pivot point of this month's pivot point series passing close to 106, and for last couple of sessions it has been the level which has been providing the support on the lower side for the USDJPY. And if you consider the regression curve, it is also almost flat, and now the price action has entered in the upper band of this regression curve, and that is likely to result in the bullish bias creeping in the regression curve formation. If the price action continues in the upper band, and if it takes the bullish turn, then of course eventually in course of time we will see the regression curve also steepening on the higher side. So for us now, this 106 zone is of crucial importance. It can be used as a deciding marker whether to go long or whether to go short or simply sit on the sidelines. In such scenario, we need to watch out for the price action and how things are unfolding in this crucial price band of around 106. So here we have the confluence zone of 50, 100 and 200 SMA passing close to the 106 zone, and also the prior swing lows are also around the same zone. And even if we draw the price action price channel, here also we get the same area as our important support zone. So if we were to take into consideration all these different technical pointers, all are pointing in the same direction, that is the fact that USDJPY is likely to find significant amount of support closer to this crucial level, and unless and until there is any break above below this 106 zone, we can continue to bet on the USDJPY's possible upside move. So here for today's trading session, I think any entry anywhere in the price band of 106 to 106.10 should be good enough, and on the higher side, then we can expect the USDJPY to get past this immediate swing high, which is there around 106.50, and eventually the USDJPY is expected to run towards 107 zone. And on the lower side, we can keep the price stop loss of around 105.80, and I think it should be good enough, though the stop loss is kind of sharp, but given the fact that now the price action has entered into a sideways consolidation phase and we are not really seeing any big moves, so from that perspective this sharp stop loss with equally sharp target should work well for us, as we will be targeting the price zone around 106.7 to 106.80 on the higher side, while pointing to the entry closer to 106. So that's it from my side for today's webinar session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write it in the comment section and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while using the information provided. Have a fabulous day ahead. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.